Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mic Check
2.
My name is Rachel.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Aja.
And today we have a very special guest. I will allow her to introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cristina Morales. I'm a registered dietitian with St. Hope. Let's see, I started in 2020, right smack in the middle of COVID.
Lucky
For
girl.
some reason, I thought you've been here since like 2016.
I know. But she been getting us together ever since.
I know. So what brought you to St. Hope?
Well, I was due to COVID, so I was let go from my previous job, which was a little difficult. And so I quickly started applying for jobs, and I had 4 by the time I got this one. So I had to make a decision, which one am I going to keep?
Right.
So I did my research, and I felt like this is where I want to go. Because I've always liked working with community, working with people, doing my nutrition spiel, and it's kind of what I like. So.
Well, we are happy to have you.
Welcome,
So
welcome.
happy to have you.
If you haven't noticed in the back, today we're going to be talking about nutrition and fitness.
Going to be going into Halloween, all that candy, and then Thanksgiving.
It's the holiday run.
Yeah, it's the holiday run. Starting now.
It's also a very important month.
Oh, yeah. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well.
Yes. And Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about nutrition and fitness and how they kind of correlate together. I know a main question for me, I always want to know, are you supposed to work out? Are you supposed to eat before or after you work out?
What do you think?
I do both. I was a fasted cardio girl. Then I hit 30 and my body was like, no ma'am. No, I don't know what you're doing, but you gotta stop. So now I do a brief snack before I eat just to give me like a little energy boost, and then after for my gains.
Yeah.
Same.
That's
I found
a
out
smart move.
I found out the same because I didn't eat one time and had a trainer for a session and literally like passed out in my car. And he was like, did you eat before? And I was like, no. He's like, okay.
Yeah, this may be a shocker, but carbohydrates are very much needed for exercise. So carbohydrates give you energy, and it's never recommended to exercise in a fasted state.
No, wait. They always talk about you're not supposed to eat carbs.
I eat carbs, I'm not gonna lie.
I love a little
Like
bread.
if you're trying to lose weight, so is it like is it like a good carb and a bad carb? What's the difference?
Yeah, the difference is think of what your good carbs are. Let's start there.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato is a vegetable. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
carbohydrate, yes. So think of fruits.
I'm walking into this blind. Y'all looking at me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Vegetables, whole grains. There's even carbohydrate in milk.
Really?
So like oatmeal, is that a carb?
It is a carb.
Oh, okay. I do
100%
be eating my
carb.
little oatmeal before I work out. And then after the workout is protein.
Yes, protein plus carb.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So now think of the foods that are not healthy carbs.
Bread.
pasta.
Some breads, pastas that are more like you want to eat your whole grain pasta. That's a good healthy carb. So your unhealthy carbs are going to be like your donuts, your cookies, pastries, ice cream, candy,
I'm messing up
My
then.
little Debbie's.
soda.
Sean.
Sean, you feel attacked?
Yeah.
Did y'all see his face?
Sean just went. Womp, womp, womp.
It's okay.
It's okay, Sean. This is a judge-free zone.
Fun fact, I'm addicted to Dr. Pepper. This is not a shameless plug for Dr. Pepper and not an advertisement, but I am addicted to Dr. Pepper. So, hearing that soda is a carb, it's like, oh. But that's why I always feel that bloated feeling after you drink one. You know, you have that little...
Could be some of that gas. That's
I'm
in
not
it.
a soda girly.
I may have a soda like once or twice a year.
I feel attacked.
I'm not a soda girl. But the good news is it's only October 4th. Happy New Year. Start tomorrow.
I know. See? There we go.
Keeping it positive.
Every time I need a reset, I just say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
I'm going to start tomorrow. Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. Start tomorrow.
Because that's what we're all going to be saying in this. Okay, so we talked about good and bad carbs. What are like good fats?
Good fats. So
I do avocado.
avocado is a good fat.
Yes.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah. So think of like healthy fats are going to be found in your nuts, your almonds, your walnuts, olive oil, canola oil. Those are healthy fats. Avocado. And so they consist mostly of poly and monounsaturated fat.
Okay.
So they're low in saturated fat, and saturated fats are the ones that really do all that nasty stuff to our arteries.
Okay.
So we're trying to avoid things like, I know when we look at our nutritional facts, they have the fat, but then they have the saturated fat like right under it. So
Right.
we're trying to, we're supposed to focus on the fat, but we have to really pay attention to that saturated portion. So
Yes.
if that's low, we're good.
Yeah, so the nutrition facts will give you the total fat content of that food, and then it's going to break it down. And sometimes they don't write if it has the mono or polyunsaturated fat. So if it shows saturated fat, you really want to try to get, like, I always say less than 3 grams, 1.5 grams or less. And you want foods to have more of that mono and polyunsaturated fat.
What would be an example of one of those? Just the avocado?
Avocado is higher in the mono and poly.
Okay. Okay.
You take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here.
I'm
Avocado. I love avocados. Yeah. But you're not supposed to the difference is I love avocados and then I get like guacamole and then the chips. And it spirals.
You're just smiling. So is that a bad or a good thing?
No, avocado and guacamole are the same thing.
But then you start adding the pico, then the chips. I'm sorry.
The chips.
The chips.
The chip. Oh my God.
So if you do like a whole grain chip, that's okay.
They don't. Most places don't really give out whole grain chips. They give you the generic tortilla chip.
That's
That's
true.
full of salt.
And those are the ones I prefer.
It's so funny when somebody like brings it to your attention. And I remember I had saw a video and it was like, for all you people who love chips and queso, chips and salsa. And this person like cut up the tortillas at their house and then they fried them. And I was like, damn, do I really be eating like 20 tortillas at the table before my entree even comes?
And then still eating the whole entree.
Yeah.
That's me.
They really get you right when they serve those chips right before they bring your meal.
You be going through like 3 baskets before your meal. My sizzling fajitas come out.
On your tortillas. On your tortillas.
So now, for instance, for you, what do you like as a good snack?
One of my favorite snacks is sliced apples with some almond butter.
Okay.
That sounds good.
And so almond butter has that good fat in it too. It's a nut. It's a nut butter.
And it's full of protein. Because I know a lot of times with like working out, a lot of guys like to say you're supposed to make sure you're having a healthy amount of protein in your system, and they always include like nuts, almonds, pistachios, peanuts in their diet.
Yeah, nuts and seeds are high in those healthy fats. Other proteins are like egg, boiled egg.
Egg whites.
The whole egg if you want.
So so you brought up egg. I'm curious. Wait, hold on. So, is it okay to eat a raw egg?
Oh no.
It's not recommended.
Because you know what I'm talking. Like when people work out, there are people that actually put raw eggs in like their in their shakes.
Yes.
Shake it up and then.
Yeah, it reminds me of what was that movie where it was Rocky?
It's
or somebody
Rocky.
that
I'm about to say I haven't seen that
throw
since
all
like,
those.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they
just
put
be
2 or
cracking.
3 eggs and they'll shake it up and have a whole little concoction.
Yeah.
So what is your take on that?
I don't recommend it. Maybe there was a time when our chickens or grass was not contaminated with anything, but nowadays it's risky. Especially, I do talk a lot about unpasteurized raw foods with a lot of my clients because they are already immunocompromised. Mm-hmm. So we want to be careful not to have that. So we'll also talk about like not even having raw fish.
Now, what's unpasteurized is, what is that?
So a lot of our foods that we have are dairy products or meats. Before they make it to our table, if we're buying them from the supermarket, they are actually pasteurized. So they've been heat treated, or
Chemically treated. To be
to sort of kill off all the bacteria and things that could make us sick.
But then you're still taking in like that bad chemical, right?
Well, so I think they're heat treated.
Oh, heat treated. Okay.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Now you're taking me way back to mine.
Let's go back to undergrad.
Let's revisit school.
I was just curious, because I always wanted, and since you brought up egg, it was just a good like little segue, just because I was wondering.
So why would you want to do a raw egg?
I don't do raw. I believe in salmonella poisoning and all that, so I wouldn't personally. I just know I have associates that actually do still
They do.
use raw eggs in their
Yeah.
protein or in like in their daily shakes. So I always wondered, like, you're
Yeah.
eating a raw egg and you can like, you're gonna be stuck on the toilet for the rest of the day.
Exactly. There's that risk for salmonella, like you mentioned, and it can be, pretty. You can get pretty sick with that.
So we're dispelling a myth. Stop eating raw eggs, guys.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Yeah, not recommended.
Go ahead and just put it in the skillet after you.
Put in the skillet,
Mercy.
2-3 minutes.
And pop it in your smoothie. Shake it up that way.
There we go.
So you did mention your population with the compromised immune system. So are there like certain foods, like if you are maybe facing different things like this, you should avoid? Like if your immune system is compromised, like sugar, I would think would be one, or...
Sugar is something that's a good topic. That's a whole topic in itself.
Right.
We have your cane sugar, and then you have your artificial sugars, which causes a whole nother issue in the GI tract. But when we're talking about foods that naturally have sugar, like fruit, it's totally recommended to have our fruit every day. Fruits are full of antioxidants, polyphenols, and they are talking about Cancer Month, that they're good at fighting cancer. So we have in our body these free radicals that can change. It can convert to a cancer cell. And so having foods that are rich in antioxidants and polyphenols, which are found in lots of different foods, can help to fight cancer. Some of the foods that are recommended to not have, or to make sure that they're okay to eat, it would be even like sprouts,
Brussels
like bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts.
Like bean sprouts.
I straight went to
salad.
Brussels and I was like,
You having flashbacks?
yeah.
And so for people who are having cancer treatments, they're at risk because their immune system is down. So they could be at risk for getting sick. You don't want to introduce some microbe into your body that could harm you. So it's recommended for them not to have things that are necessarily raw, right?
I heard chickpeas are good too. Is that right?
Chickpeas?
Chickpeas, yeah.
Yeah, chickpeas is a legume, and it's high in protein.
The reason I'm bringing chickpeas up is because, I didn't mean to cut you off, is because with Peyton's immune system, they recommend chickpeas for sickle cell. And I was just like, how am I going to get an 8-year-old to eat some chickpeas?
Does he like hummus?
She's not a dip girl, a sauce girl. I said, y'all, have you ever tried to have you seen the chickpeas?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. It's not happening. Not in my house.
Maybe when she's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your taste buds change.
But it's funny. She won't eat peas like that, but she'll eat sushi.
Huh.
I don't know where I got her
I
from.
love a sushi.
Yeah.
Well, chickpeas is from the legume family, and so they go hand in hand with beans, all kinds of beans, legumes, lentils, and so they're really rich in protein, and they're healthy too. They're good for the gut.
Good for the gut. There we go.
I might need me some chickpeas.
No, I have a question for you. Something I've always been curious about. So with a lot of our patients, I do know you recommend, depending on the situation, the milkshakes, the little dailies.
Oh.
Activias?
Not Activias.
Insurance?
Nutritional supplements.
Nutritional supplements. What would be the positive and benefits of those? Because I know sometimes, even though they're full of nutrients, they can also be full of sodium, sugar. What are the pros and cons of that?
Yeah.
I know you'll recommend certain patients to have them as they're leaving a location. Come out little case.
Right, absolutely. So, they're widely available at the grocery store. So it's really important to educate patients as to what their specific need is. Because nutritionally speaking, not everybody, needs the same nutrition supplement. So say if you have somebody with diabetes and they are trying to control their blood sugars, so there's Ensures that are specifically formulated for diabetes. So they're low in carbohydrate, but they also can contain some artificial sweeteners. So for some, I always let them know, it's better to sip your drink instead of gulping it down because you don't want it to cause any GI upset.
Oh, okay.
So the ensures that's for like poor appetite too?
It can be used for poor appetite, yes. It can be used as a meal replacement. So say somebody wants to lose weight.
That's what I do. I'll use an Ensure or like a protein based milkshake, and it's like my breakfast instead of an actual solid.
But if you want to like gain weight, you would do that and then another meal? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good for, so if you want to gain weight, you can introduce a supplement and, sip on that with your meal, with a small meal, because you don't ever want to promote like eating a large meal. Mm-hmm. So for poor appetite, it's always good to eat small meals throughout the day. And so those shakes really come in handy, especially when we don't feel like eating. Some people are sensitive to smells. Mm-hmm. They might be sensitive to the sight of food when you're not feeling well. You don't feel like eating, but you're at risk for losing, more weight, becoming more malnourished. Those drinks really come in handy.
And you go, and when you base it, I'm just asking off the top of my dome.
You're fine.
I know you said like for diabetic patients, it's a big factor. Like just looking at the nutritional stats, you'll end up going with the patient and going over like, let's say they did their lab work. Mm-hmm. And you'll go over that lab work with them and be like, this is what I suggest you eat based off of like your vitamin D, mm-hmm. your A1C, your lipids, and then you'll build off of a meal plan based off of their lab work.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, during a normal visit, you look at like cholesterols and all that.
Absolutely.
And then you make the plan from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about food to avoid for spiking your blood sugar. Because I know a lot of people with diabetes, they're like, is it the Dr. Pepper? Is that why you're making that face? And the donuts? Okay, maybe I already knew that answer. But some people may not have known.
So what are some foods to avoid that would contribute to spiking your blood sugar? I mean, I know the obvious. But.
So, one thing to look at if somebody has diabetes or even if somebody wants to lose weight, I kind of use the same model. It's always a good idea to start with adding what should go on your plate first, right? So we want to add some protein, some lean protein, something healthy. Mm-hmm. Then we want to add some non-starchy vegetables because non-starchy vegetables are low in calories and they're low in carbohydrate. Now, vegetables are a carbohydrate food. And they get a bad rap because they're never really talked about as being a carbohydrate. So carbohydrates are in a lot of our foods, but we don't really talk about them. We're usually just focused on pasta, breads, rice, potatoes. So you want to put non-starchy vegetables on your plate. And then a quarter of your plate that's left is where you want to focus on those starches. And there are healthy starches like those chickpeas you were talking about, mm-hmm. or sweet potato. Those are some wholesome, healthy starch foods. And so the way to not spike your blood sugar is to not overeat those starches. So we think about that meal when we were talking about going to a restaurant and having those chips and getting the fajitas. They also bring rice. They'll bring some beans usually and some tortillas. So when you factor in all of the starch, the carbohydrate that you get from each one of those carbohydrate servings, looking at the rice, beans, chips before the meal, and tortillas with the meal, it just ends up becoming too much carbohydrate, too many carbs at one time, and that's what spikes your blood sugar.
So what chips. Look at Sean. I wish I could see Sean's face.
So what are some of the low starchy vegetables? I'm taking.
Is that like your green leafy vegetables your mom always tell you to eat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did you listen to your mom growing up?
Absolutely not.
Spinach, kale.
Broccoli.
So
cauliflower.
Okay. I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're up there.
You're doing good?
Asparagus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love asparagus. Yeah, I love
cucumber.
Asparagus. I love a cucumber.
Tomatoes. Green beans.
You lost me.
It's actually easier. It's easier to go over the foods the vegetables that are starchy.
Okay, so let's do that.
Okay. So here are your vegetables with starch.
Here we go.
Your potatoes.
Okay.
Stop.
Put a finger up.
Because I love a potato sliced,
I love a mashed
diced, mashed, fried. And I'm gonna exit from the conversation because I feel attacked. Okay,
what else?
potatoes,
Corn.
I'm not really a big corn girl.
Corn would be that's your
A
starch.
starchy vegetable.
Okay.
I really feel like my body don't digest corn really well, so I don't fool with it.
You
like
actually
that.
cannot digest corn, right? It doesn't digest.
You can digest. I mean, you can break it down by chewing it really well, and then your body will do the rest.
I don't fool with it. So
I don't. Yeah, I'm not a big corn.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm still at one finger. Go ahead, Sean. Put your 2 fingers up.
I'm done here.
But corn is one of those foods that is used for many things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You use it to corn chips,
I don't really care for
cornbread,
those.
corn flour.
I don't really care for corn. As a black person, I don't care for cornbread, so I'm good. I'm on a road. Nope.
Fun fact. Okay,
Now
so
wait, real quick. So when it comes to your protein, and you said your lean meats, what's your different? Just for people that don't know,
Right.
you have lean. What is considered a lean meat?
A lean
is that
meat-
like your red meat or your?
If you can find some red meat that's lean, that'd be great. Usually less than 3 grams of fat per serving.
Okay.
So
The
a
chicken
serving
breast.
of meat would typically be about 3 to 4 ounces. If you order your ribeye, that's not going to be lean at all.
Bison.
Your bison can be lean.
Bison's about 98% lean.
So you want when
you
you're
go.
getting like the pack of ground meat, you want to look for like the one that says 97% lean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 97/3, that
The
3% fat.
Only bad thing is that's like $8 right now.
Yeah, that's really high, Christina. Is there not an alternative?
Chicken.
Chicken breast.
They sell the chicken in turkey and
I like now turkey.
Beef.
I'm sorry. Turkey meat is a good option. I love turkey meat. Okay.
I want to say shout outs to Bunny Larry because he makes a fabulous turkey burger. Went back in my meat days. Thank you. Shout outs to Larry.
I need to get with Bunny.
Yeah.
What's up?
He can make a really good turkey burger. Okay, I'm sorry, I got us off topic.
So when we I know there's like sometimes when you're talking about, the my plate and making healthy choices. I know sometimes we talk about like food with high and low glycemic index.
Glycemic index, yes.
Right. And so this is where I get confused. So I'm going to let you step in. Which one should we be leaning towards? Is it because something about the way it digests, right? Or spiking your blood sugar with the...
Yeah, so something with a high glycemic index is going to raise that blood sugar like faster.
Okay.
Something with a low glycemic index would not raise it so much. But it kind of goes hand in hand with the foods that we all also recommend that are healthy.
Okay.
So someone might look at a fruit and say, oh, it's got too high of a high index, like maybe a banana. But we don't want to dispel banana. Bananas are healthy. They're good. We just need to know what a serving is.
That's the part right there. That's the part that everybody
Serving.
misses. The serving size
portions.
Serving
on
size,
the back of a
portion.
big bag of chips. You
Yeah.
know what people
When it
do?
says per 8 chips, and then you done ate about 47 of them, and the bag almost empty.
Yeah, and
So
you're
you
looking,
done had like 6 servings.
and then you're confused on why you ain't lost no weight.
Talk about the bag only say 130 calories. Yeah, for that one serving.
Yeah, 1 ounce.
Does 2 chips. Because some would be like 3 chips and get your hand out the bag.
Like them Oreos, I think it's like 2. You could get like 140 calories. I closed that box. I was like, cause who eating 2 Oreos? So I just don't even buy them no more.
Yeah, because nobody. That's humanly impossible.
So, like, when you're recommending, like, your, what do you call it, the model plate?
The plate.
So when you're recommending that, how would you suggest a person that didn't know how to portion control, how do you suggest for them in your sessions to portion their food? Like, is there like a specific tool in the kitchen or a certain...
Yep, there's a tool on our body.
The hand,
hand.
yes. I know that.
Wait.
I couldn't get her hand
Wait.
fast enough.
Y'all were ready for... Wait, explain.
is,
So your hand...
The big part like this should be like your vegetables or something like this.
So the palm of your hand,
Is the meat, right? The protein.
that's like your like how much protein you need. Okay.
Okay.
That.
So I always like to.
So
Hold on, we pause. You should say short like
this.
that.
Me and Troy are thinking the same way because I'm just like this.
Like it fits in my palm.
So we stack it.
Back to service. That's the word of the day of the episode. Serving size.
Hashtag
Okay.
serving size.
No, so we have, this is your meat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So notice how my palm is smaller than yours.
Uh-huh.
So this is the amount of, say, chicken that I need for my body. And that's the amount of chicken that you would need for your body. So for me, maybe it's about 3 ounces. For you, we're looking at 4.5 ounces.
This is not a 3-piece.
It's
This is
not.
like a thigh, and that's it.
So we're going to have other foods on our plate
Okay,
too.
okay.
We're not only going to eat a plate of chicken, right?
Okay.
So we have to fill our plate with different foods from the food groups.
Yeah.
So that's 3 meals a day. That's not, you don't get this one piece of chicken for the whole day.
No.
Okay,
This
okay.
is for that one meal that we're going to work with right now.
Okay. And then now when it's time to pick our starches and our healthy carbohydrates, do you use like a measuring?
Sure. You can do that too. Yeah. You can use measuring cups that you have at home, or you can just kind of eyeball it. So you can, like, the fist is about a cup.
Okay. So when we go to our soul food restaurants, for my soul food eaters, you know what I'm talking about. So they're looking at me because they know.
I already know.
They like to stack the plate. And I mean, it's like a mountain of just everything. So we're trying to avoid the mountain.
Yeah. So how do you avoid the mountain, first of all? If you know this restaurant serves these larger portions and you're working on maybe, eating healthier, you have some goals, maybe we want to lose some weight, what is the best thing to do?
Not go.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
She not talking to me. I don't go there.
But it's not that you can't go there, right? We want to save those occasions, make them special, where
A
you can
cheat day.
really, a cheat day, where you can really enjoy your food. So we wouldn't want to go, regularly.
I try to get it in the kids' meal size instead of the adult plate.
Or split.
Yeah.
My wife and I split entrees everywhere we go.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Okay.
Now
So
that-
for the people that don't know, like your cheat day is pretty much like your one day where you can kind of go off course a little bit from your normal dietary routine.
A little bit.
A little
little
bit.
bit.
Not overdo it and eat like an entire box of Little Debbie's, a pan of pizza, a burger, and everything under the sun. But
You want?
I'm
you love
hearing
you
like some
Little
disordered
Debbie's,
eating
huh?
going on here.
I really have I have a very strange obsession with Little Debbie's, and this is also not a shameless plug or advertisement, but I really like Little Debbie's.
Okay, so Little Debbie's and Dr. Pepper. Okay.
So,
Basically.
and just because I think people believe like, oh, if I have a Little Debbie and I have a soda, like, do you know how much workout that you would have to do to burn that off?
Yeah, like that's literally like a whole nother 30 minutes of cardio.
Just for a soda, right? About average.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
Like
just
an
depending on how
hour.
intense it
I'm not
is.
gonna lie, that's what really got me together. I was like, you be on the treadmill or the Stairmaster and you just watching that calorie count, and I didn't ate them bag of chips at 5 minutes.
I done do this for an hour? And minimum.
Got me right together. Okay.
Minimum. And then that just burns, that little hour treadmill just burns that bag of chips. You ain't even ate for the rest of the day.
How I'm supposed to eat in a calorie deficit? How?
So that's actually,
It's just not happening.
Hold on, wait. So this is actually a good segue. So what is, because I mean, y'all see I'm not the skinniest person in the room. So what does everyone's fitness regimens look like to them?
So
Is-
I can go first. I actually started about a week ago because we had about
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We had 3 months into the end of the year. And so I said, I'm going to make this very personal with my goals. Because when we come back around, y'all know that podcast is coming up about our goals. So I'm going to work out. I'm trying to do at least something for 30 minutes a day. So that's like walking. Now, my thing is, I don't like to put too much pressure on myself because then I'll go like OCD with it. And I'm like, I need to get weights and build a gym. In my like, no. So for me, I'm just doing like walks, maybe find a little YouTube 30-minute workout video. And that's,
Okay.
But as we mentioned, that ain't cutting it for what I'm eating.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That'll get you, especially over 30. You do have to do a little bit more.
So
what are you doing?
Yeah, someone recommended me the exact same. They recommended to at least, if you don't do a full-on workout, to at least try to incorporate 30 minutes of cardio into your daily routine. So I'll try to do a treadmill. And there was a gentleman I met at the gym, and so I didn't realize this. So when you're on a treadmill, what's your level?
1.
With the incline or the
Yeah,
or
your
the
incline.
speed?
Your incline. What's your level?
It's
It's about a 5 or 6.
Okay, so he told me that's actually good because I was going at a 0 to a 1 for like weeks. And he's like, you do realize when you're walking or you're jogging on a actual surface, it's not
leveled.
Mm-hmm. To actually get a beneficial workout, you're supposed to be at like a 5 to a 10 in incline. So one day he put me on like a 10 and I sat there for 5 minutes and died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
But,
that's like when people are doing that 12, 3,
but
30.
And he was like, work hard. He's like, work, but it goes back to that work smarter, not harder. So if you're doing an hour at a 0 and you're only burning like what, 200 calories. But then I did 30 minutes. Yeah, I did 30 minutes on like a 7 and I was already like 400 by the time I was in. I was like, oh. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was out of breath. I had to take a minute, but...
Them Dr. Peppers was...
Yeah, the Dr. Peppers were just coming out my pores, but it kind of added up and it was more beneficial.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
What are you doing, Audrey?
Well, as y'all know, I had a brief accident, so I had to slow down. So I'm mainly just watching what I eat right now. I'm cleared to... go back to my daily activity. I haven't reintroduced it yet, but I just keep it light. Like when I was in physical therapy, I had to become a cycling girl. And that's not my thing. I was never a cycle girl, but that was the first thing that I was introduced to, when I was recovering from my ankle. So I'm still doing cycling, elliptical, all the stuff I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
Ellipticals are fun.
I'm a Stairmaster girl.
Absolutely not.
Well, they say it's 80% of what you eat and only 20% of what you do.
Yes.
So that's good that you're still watching your food. Because I'd be like, I'm down for the count. Let me...
Oh, no. Y'all know I'm short. That'll add up real quick.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Okay.
So wait, Chris, do you exercise also on top of? As I already know, you're probably one of the most healthy. You've got to be.
Oh gosh, I wish I could boast about that.
Please tell me you're like the most healthiest eater alive.
I'm the most healthiest eater alive.
And you know what?
As she's smiling and winking at me.
And fun fact: whenever we have food at work, I try to model Christina's plate. I let her go in front of me all the time. And I'm like, okay, she got 1 scoop. I'm going to get 1 scoop. Okay? Half the plate vegetables. I'm getting half the vegetables.
So do you ever notice, now that she said that, now you're going to go and look, so next time someone brings lunch, you're going to be like, let me watch and see how many people are watching.
Yeah, I'm like, follow. Not the blind,
so hard.
The blind.
As the dietitian, it's so hard to go into the kitchen and enjoy what everybody else is eating. So
I can only imagine.
Because one time, I'm not going to lie, y'all. I had made my plate before Cristina, right? And she came right after me. And then I looked at mine and I looked at hers. And I was like, I should be ashamed of myself.
Put some in this bag.
Who did this?
Made this plate.
Pack me up.
It's a go box. You had a to-go box.
I was ashamed. I looked at the plate and I was like, why do I have so much food compared to her plate?
You must have been really hungry.
So do you have to does that happen at like around your friends and family sometimes? You kind of side eye them when you see them making plates. You're like,
that's enough.
Well, in my home, I love to cook for my family.
Okay.
There's not that many of us. It's my father and my daughter, who's 15 now.
So, I'm not looking forward to that age. Sorry.
It's okay.
And I actually it's kind of like a hobby of mine. I like to present food. So I make it look all pretty and stuff. And I found my daughter doing the same thing this weekend.
Oh.
She had a slice of toast with some almond butter and she decorated it with blueberries on top. And I was so proud of her. And I was like, this looks really good. And
That's
then she's like, look what else I did. And, she had some yogurt with some granola on top and some strawberries.
So presentation is also a good key factor when you're trying to.
I always think that, if you make something look nice, it's more appeasing,
That's true.
That's my issue. Because if I put it on my plate, I'm going to eat it. Like if we have a basket of chips right here, and I could be full, Y'all not like that? But if I see it, I have to snack or nibble on it. That's why I try to tell them, like, no, you can take the basket of chips. I can't talk today, but you can take the chips away.
That's how that's so embarrassing, but that's how I used to be with fries. I felt like if you gave me the fries, I had to eat them.
Yeah.
But now I'm better. I stop.
You're saying?
I stop. I stop when I get, like, when I'm like, okay, you had enough.
It's always hard to eat just one fry.
Yeah, I'm really
Who
doing
eats
good
one fry?
I'm really doing good with serving sizes though. I'm practicing. So like I'm counting 11 fries out the Orida bag and putting it in my air fryer. Because I find that when I restrict myself, then I feel like I binge, or then I'm cranky. So I try to give myself a little bit, in moderation, so I can still enjoy what I like, because that's why people be miserable on diets. You eating grass and drinking water, and then you mad at everybody.
Yeah, so just eat a serving size.
Just in moderation. Y'all know when people be on diets, you could tell, because they all angry. They can't have their coffee. They have to get the non-fat.
That's why I don't promote diets.
Yeah, they have to get the
She does not promote diet.
non-fat, low vanilla, almond milk. They mad because they couldn't get their right Starbucks order. Then they done tried something they saw on Pinterest, and now they mad.
That's very me though.
Now, I was going to say, have you been around Sean in the morning? Let Sean get his Dr. Pepper.
If I don't have like a morning, like something, and so try drinking like just water throughout the day and with no kind of bubbly thing. I'm just devastated.
That's really how
all your bubbles come from your carbohydrate.
That's really how I was able to cycle off soda though. I switched to sparkling water and like
that's a good change.
Topo Chico and stuff like that, just because I was like, okay, I don't just want the tap. I want a little razzle dazzle. So the little bubbles make me feel like I'm doing something.
So that sounds like a lot of what you're doing is like conscious. You're being mindful of what you're eating, being mindful of your food choices, and practicing those good healthy habits.
Mama, if you listening, she said I'm doing good.
She's doing good.
I'm going to have to take a page out your book, because I'm not. I'm like, no, don't touch the basket of chips. What are you doing? If you put them on the table, it's for me to eat.
So
that's my problem.
Can you bring two? Because this one mine.
Yeah, she's going to need her own bag. She's mindful eating. This is my basket. I'll eat what she don't finish. Like, that's my problem.
Yeah, I can't. I'm too short. I'm really too short. The way to hit me like a bag of bricks, and then next thing you know,
I feel like I should be more conscious, because I'm only like 2 inches taller than you. So, okay.
So do you have any other healthy eating ideas that you try to recommend to patients that we haven't talked about?
Oh gosh, where do we start?
Give me what's one main thing that you tell patients? Like, what's something that you notice, like a continuous a trend?
I always like to, I recently had a patient, and she was telling me about this comfort food that she had that she really likes, and it was cabbage. It was a cabbage soup, and I just simply asked her, because she immediately told me I don't like vegetables. So then I showed her some pictures of some vegetables, and she goes, "Oh, I do like cabbage." I said, "Well, tell me about that." And she told me about a recipe that her dad used to make some cabbage soup. And I said, "When's the last time you had cabbage soup?" She goes, "Oh, it's been years."
Go ahead and make that cabbage soup.
Yep.
So you'll find people that actually think they don't like something healthy, but once you give them a visual of the different food groups.
All the time.
Oh.
It's surprising what conversation can bring out,
So you're kind of like weeding out and probing just here and there to see what people do like, what they don't like, and you're like,
yep.
I'm gonna have to bring Peyton so you can tell her about some
chickpeas.
That's a nice all-around job.
Right.
I always wonder what happened in the nutrition.
Yeah,
business.
that's all I was wondering. So I know, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. So they'll come in, you'll introduce, you'll go over like labs, and then you'll ask you, so what are your eating habits?
Yeah.
How does it typically go?
It's kind of you kind of have to base it on what the feel is in the room, right? I always introduce myself, and I like to tell my patients why they're there. What's the purpose of our meeting? Because they, it's kind of like you have a group that doesn't want to talk to me, doesn't want to have anything to do with, that conversation. They just want to get out of there ASAP. And so you kind of have to gauge how they're feeling and how they're going to be receptive. How receptive are they to talking about their eating habits? So that kind of drives the conversation. Then you have those who I might say something, like there's no right or wrong answer. No food is bad. Let's just talk about what you like to eat. What are your favorite foods? Tell me about your, what have you, what do you feel like eating? What do you like to eat? So a lot of times, have you ever found yourself where you're like craving something to eat? You kind of know what you want to eat, but you're stuck. You're pressed for time. There's no time to make that special meal that you're craving. And so we all deal with it every day. And so it's all about preparation. Planning your meals ahead of time. And that's really key in sticking to a healthy eating habit, because life is so different now.
That's true.
A lot of moms are working,
We're on the go a lot.
We're on the go.
Absolutely on the go.
And it's all about planning. So if you like to eat fruits, say you like fruits, fresh fruit. Well, what is your plan to eat fruit this week? Do you have any at home? Are they rinsed? Are they washed? Are they prepped already? Because all that takes time. Do you have containers to put them in?
Well,
Little things you don't think about. Do you recommend like a calendar? Calendars are good, kind of to help.
Calendars can be helpful. Yeah, it
So
just
like on
depends.
this day you'll eat like your nuts and then this day you'll have
Some
your.
people like that. Some people really are
Type A personality.
yeah. I kind of just like to I give a healthy shopping list to my patients
Okay.
and tell them, here, take this, mark off what you plan to buy at the grocery store, and don't buy too much. Because we can get really excited and say, oh, I'm going to eat healthy. And you walk out of the store, buying $200 worth of all this fresh fruit and veggies, and half of it's going to go to waste.
look, Happy New Year.
That's my problem. I'm eating out after I do the grocery shopping bill.
That's okay.
That's okay.
So always just buy a few things. Maybe you have a craving for apples. You haven't had any in a while. Just buy 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
You heard it here first. She is not a drill sergeant. She is here to help you be better, but she is not a drill sergeant. Because some people probably think that, like, I'm going to go in here, she going to tell me I can't eat nothing.
I can't have nothing.
Like from what she said, everything's pretty reasonable.
Right. It is reasonable.
I can buy 3 apples and like a bag of nuts and
And
maybe
that's
maybe
a
have
great
your Dr.
combination.
Pepper.
That's a really good combination right there. A handful of nuts, like a 1/3 cup of nuts, and an apple.
Before your workout.
So we're dispelling that now. She's not a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
So you can go in there and tell her your eating habits without judgment.
Absolutely.
So where can they make an appointment, Sean?
You can also make an appointment with Cristina at offeringhope.org. You can give us a call at 713-778-1300. Before we go, thank you again for coming on here with us, joining us. Did you have anything you wanted to throw out there before we let you go?
No, I think I actually look forward to the next podcast. I want to do this again.
Oh.
So thank you so much for having me here today.
Reoccurring guest. I love it.
We're going to have a highlight reel of guests, so we'll have to absolutely have you back.
All-Stars. The All-Stars.
The All-Stars.
Well, yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ms. Morales. And just remember, here at St. Hope Healthcare, you're more than just a number.